guys? It's me, Z. I'm here in between innings to do another NFL team review. Almost done, trying to do as many as I can. I'll try to get close to finishing before the Super Bowl, but I did get 5 weeks late. I started this channel like week 5 of the NFL, but gonna try to finish it off. I have a couple more, and today I'm doing the Washington Commanders, I guess, is their new team name. I don't personally like it, but I know they said it was copyrighted, but Red Wolves or Washington Warriors, I think it would have been cool. What's it called? Or Washington Admirals or Armada. I think Washington Armada would be really cool, just like the no S. And the logo is no different, it's just a W with lines through it, stylized a little bit. But I'm going to go over their season, stat leaders, all that, and then their schedule for next year and how I think they'll do. So they went 7-10. They were third in the NFC West. Third in the NFC East. This is how the NFC East looked. The Cowboys were 12-5. Philadelphia was 9-8. Washington was 7-10, and the Giants were 4-13. Gonna go look at their schedule. So they did okay, like most NFC East teams every season don't do too good, but I'll go over the games really quick. Started off the season with a loss to the Chargers, then got a win against New York, the Giants. Lost to Buffalo, beat Atlanta, 2-2. Then lost 4 straight games to New Orleans, Kansas City, Green Bay, and Denver. Then had a bye week. Going into the bye week, they were 2-6. Then they won 4 straight games, somehow beating Tampa Bay, then beating Carolina, Seattle, and Vegas, 6-6. Then lost 4 straight games to Dallas, Philadelphia, Dallas, and Philadelphia. So lost to both teams twice in the span of 4 weeks, 6-10 at that point, and then won their last game against New York, 22-7 to end the season off 7-10. So they obviously missed the playoffs, but they have some okay and promising players like Chase Young, already one of the better defensive players in the league and very promising. Terry McLaurin, same thing, already a very good receiver and promising for the team's future. They definitely didn't give him enough targets, in my opinion. I had him in fantasy, and he was always averaging like 8 points a game. I feel like they just didn't really target him enough. I mean, it says 130, but still, I feel like Cooper Kupp had probably almost 200 targets. But I'm going to go over their stats really quick. So the number 1 quarterback was Taylor Heineke. Heineke, I don't know how to pronounce it. He had 321 completions, a 65 completion rate, 3,419 yards, 20 touchdowns, did have 15 interceptions, 38 sacks, an average of an 85.9 QB rating, and an average of 233.1 yards per game, 6.9 yards on average per completion. Then he played 16 games. Rushing, we had Antonio Gibson, like I said, was the number 1 rusher with 258 attempts. He played in 16 games. He had 1,037 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 big plays. He did have 5 fumbles, way too much. 4 yards per carry on average, and 27 was his longest run. Receiving-wise, Terry McLaurin was the number 1 receiver. He played in all games. He had 77 receptions, 1,053 yards, 5 touchdowns, 15 big plays, 61.9 yards per average in a game, and averaged 13.7 yards per completion. J.D. McKissick, the backup running back, I think he's just the backup, not the 3rd string. He played in 11 games and had 43 receptions for 397 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9.2 yards on average, 3 big plays. And the next 2 receivers were Adam Humphries with 383 yards, 0 touchdowns, and DeAndre Carter with 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. Antonio Gibson had 3 touchdowns himself and 42 receptions. Defensive-wise, the tackles leader was Cole Holcomb, a linebacker with 142, and Bobby McCain led in interceptions. He's a corner, and he had 4. So they had an okay season for a team that is going to have some draft picks, and they will get better, in my opinion, in the years to come. They just need to build around Chase Young and that defense. It's an okay defense, and just build on it, and then get Terry McLaurin some help. He's really the only good receiver on that team. Here is their 22 schedule. So first they played I'll just say the games first, and I'm going to go through and say which ones they win and lose. So, and this is hard because obviously we don't know draft picks who they lose in the offseason, but based on right now who I think how many games they'd win. They play the Bears, Cowboys, Lions, Texans, Colts, Giants, Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Packers, Vikings, Jaguars, Titans, Browns, Falcons. Reason you hear Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles 2 times each is because each team plays their divisional rivals twice per season. Now I'm going to go back and say which games they win and lose. So I say they start out the season with a win against the Bears, 1-0. Lose to the Cowboys, 1-1. Beat the Lions, 2-1. Beat the Texans, 3-1. Lose to the Colts, 3-2. Beat the Giants, 4-2. Beat the Eagles, 5-2. Lose to the 49ers, 5-3. Lose to the Cowboys, 5-4. Lose in their second game against the Giants, 5-5. Beat the Eagles, 6-5. Lose to the Packers, 6-6. Upset on the Vikings, 7-6. Beat the Jaguars, 8-6. Lose to the Titans, 8-7. So beat the Browns, 9-7, and beat the Falcons, 11-7. And they because I did the Cowboys for like my first team review or something, or the second team review, so I didn't do the schedule thing because I didn't have the schedule announced back then. So I don't know if I'm going to say Washington wins the division, but the Cowboys get a wild card spot. I think they beat whoever they play in the first round and then lose after that. They can beat bad teams but can't beat good teams, in my opinion. Like lose teams like the 49ers and Packers, but then can beat teams like the Texans and Lions. They might be able to pull off wins against the Colts and Browns and Vikings and stuff like that. But they can beat teams like Falcons, Lions, Texans, Jaguars. But yeah, that's really it. So, review. They had an okay season so far. I think they get some good picks to try to get a receiver. I don't know what spot exactly they have. What pick do the Commanders? Now I have to look up Commanders because I used to be able to just look up Washington football team. Who is their spot? Okay, I can't. I'm trying to find what pick they have. If it will tell me. Well, what pick is that? Carolina, Falcons. I'm having to scroll through with lots of lag through a list on CBS trying to find. Okay, their first pick is the 11th pick, and they think they take a quarterback apparently, but I don't know. I feel like Heineke is okay for this season and try to get a good receiver, I guess I just get a receiver later, but someone that's promising and good that can go really good with what's his name? Terry McLaurin. So honestly, I would take a receiver, but I guess a quarterback is a good move and just try to get a top 5 receiver in the draft later if they're still around by then. But yeah, I think they'll be okay. They'll go 11-6, I think I said, next season. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Peace.